Hey, yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing another figure review, and that will be of the DC Collectibles New 52 Justice League Cyborg. Boy, am I excited for this figure. Why, you ask? Because Cyborg is one of my all-time favorite superheroes. He's in my top 10 list. I love him that much. And see, the thing about Cyborg that's so cool, other than the fact that he's a complete badass, is the fact that Cyborg's a character that's evolved and grown a lot throughout the years. From being a new kid on the block kind of superhero with the Teen Titans, being their new member, and really not knowing what it means to be a hero, kind of very reluctant of a hero, to evolving to becoming the leader of the Teen Titans and becoming a mentor to the younger generation, to now in the New 52 becoming a founding member of the Justice League. That's awesome. There's a lot of character growth with the Cyborg, and like I said, he's just awesome. He's a badass. He's a walking war machine. And he's like a Swiss Army knife of superhero abilities. If you need a stun gun, he has it. If you need someone to break through a wall, he can do it. If you need someone to decode something, he can do it. Cyborg has everything going for him when it comes down to a superhero, which makes me kind of baffled and perplexed that DC hasn't done a Cyborg comic in the New 52. Listen, DC, if you need someone to write it, I'm available. Okay? But like I said, I love Cyborg, and the other reason why I'm excited for this figure, other than the fact that the Justice League figures have been so badass, is I've only had really one Cyborg figure. And it's kind of weird. I consider him within my top 10 favorite superheroes of all time, and I only have one other Cyborg figure, and that is the DC Universe Classic George Perez Teen Titans, or New Teen Titans Cyborg figure, and it's based off George Perez's art. So I'm kind of excited to have another Cyborg. I was considering getting the Flashpoint one because, well, I had the 50% off sale, but I decided not to. But I might get it anyways, just because it looks pretty cool. But anyways, we're not talking about that figure. We're not talking about this figure. We're talking about Cyborg. So first and foremost, Cyborg costume-wise changing in the New 52. Uh, Cyborg's actually had a big costume change in the New 52, although it's not quite as noticeable as, say, Wonder Woman's or Superman's, because Cyborg kind of changes up his costume quite a bit. Although it's always kind of had the standard look that George Perez had for Cyborg when he was part of the New Teen Titans. Sometimes he has maybe orange modules located on his body. Maybe he has different kind of mechanical parts on him. Before the New 52, his costume was always changing, evolving, but it stayed basically the same. Kind of like how Batman may have had a different belt, maybe had the yellow emblem instead of the black emblem, maybe he would have wore a black cape and cowl instead of a blue one, but his costume was always recognizably Batman. Even with the New 52 Batman, other than the fact that his body armor, the only thing that's really changed is, he has gauntlets and no underwear anymore. It's still recognizably Batman. And I guess that's the same that can be said for Cyborg. Again, if you look at his pre-New 52 costume, and again, this is from the 80s, a lot more skin was showing. However, if you look at Cyborg now, the only skin that's showing on him is the face. Everything else is pretty much cybernetics. As for the overall change, I like it. It makes him look bulkier, it makes him look a little bit more stronger, a lot more menacing. I think the new Cyborg costume is one of the better changes to costumes in the New 52, up there with like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. It's just really a nice overall great change. The packaging itself is the same that we get from this DC Collectibles New 52 Justice League figures. Instead of red and purple and green and orange we saw with previous figures, he has kind of a gray color right there to signify the metallicness of his body. You can see the silhouette of the character there, the full figure right here, and then the upcoming figures, which is Wonder Woman and Darkseid, and then eventually Superman, and then this figure wave will be done. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this bad boy up. I'm going to play around with him for a little bit, then I'll get onto the figure itself. So, just one moment. Onto the figure itself. Now here's Cyborg in all his awesomeness. And the figure actually comes with 2 arms. They're alternating arms. You can just pop them off. He has his white sound cannon, and he has his typical normal cyborg hand. As typical as that can be. I mean, it's a robotic hand, but hey, whatever. And basically, all you do is just pop it off, but it is a pain in the bum to pull off and put on. So, for the sake of this review, I'm just going to leave the cannon there because it's probably how I'm going to display him. So, Cyborg, here he is. And I got a chance to kind of play around with him a bit, and boy, was his joints tight. I thought I was going to break the figure trying to loosen it up, and it's probably because of the paint. But Cyborg is quite a big figure, and rightfully so. Cyborg in the New 52, based off the information we get on the back of the Justice League trade, is 6'5" and I think 385 pounds? Let me double check that. I know he's 6'5". We have the information right here. 385 pounds. Pretty close. So yeah, he's a big fellow. And one thing that I do have to point out about the figure that I do love is how accurate he is to Jim Lee's art of Cyborg in the Justice League comic. It looks like it jumped off the page, which most of these figures, I think with the exception of Flash, has done. The Batman figure looks like Jim Lee's Batman. The Aquaman figure or the Green Lantern figure looks like Jim Lee's art. The Flash is the only one, and only really in the face that looks a little off. But yeah, the white sound cannon is awesome. That is what it looks like in the New 52. This is what it looked like before the New 52. Definitely an improvement. If you look at a comparison between the two, let me just get Cyborg all situated up. You can clearly see the difference in costume between the two. A lot more metal on this guy. Sometimes in the comics, they show his biceps and triceps, his upper arm area, as his skin rather than armor, for lack of a better term. But I like it better like this. I like it better covering up his body. Articulation-wise, his arms can move up and around. It can go out slightly, only slightly, and bend at the elbows. The legs can go up about that far and bend at the knees. And then the head can rotate around. Cyborg has considerably less articulation to him than the other DC Collectible New 52 Justice League figures, which is kind of a downside, but he more than makes up with his absolute beautiful sculpt. Really is a good looking sculpt. And you get all these nice nooks and crannies and details put in there. I mean, if you just look at the metal layers right here in the face, the detail in the face is really good. He has brown eyes. I thought Cyborg had blue, but hey, whatever. It works. Actually, I could probably tell you now how he does have brown eyes. Learning something new every day. But it really is just a nice looking figure. Um, and probably out of the New 52 figures, one of the better ones. I still consider the Batman one the best but maybe that's because I'm biased towards Batman. Because, well, he's Batman. But so far, these figures have not let me down. And see, the arm just popped off. I guess it got a little bit looser, so can pop on the regular hand and you guys can see. The regular arm goes on a little bit easier, I guess, than the cannon arm. So pick your poison. I wonder if it comes off easier. It does. Let's see if I can get the cannon arm on. There we go. Oh, well, I guess he's loosened up in that area. The cannon arm goes right back on. So again, pick whichever one you like better. It looks... No, that's a little deceitful. It looked like it would have had waist articulation, but it doesn't. But yeah, on a whole, the Cyborg figure is beautiful. Definitely a recommendation to pick up. One of the best of the Justice League figures that came out. A very big figure, and he goes for a little bit more because he is big, but the paint, the detail, the sculpt, everything, it all pays off, and it's all worth it. Just like the Parademon, he has so much to him that it just makes him stand out. And I don't know if you guys saw the reflection off the packaging, but my Parademon's in the background. He's always looking at me. So yeah, Cyborg. Love him as a character. Love him as a figure. Definitely worth picking up. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.